Of die Springbokke 'n bietjie rustiger is nadat dit gebeur het. Dit lyk of hulle bietjie met meer durf speel. En ek dink ook miskien was dit goed vir ons geweest dat ons net bietjie vir die Argentyne wys, maar luister, sonder om dit lelik te bedoel, kom ons speel rugby.
Tot hier toe en nie verder nie. Kan ek jou vra vir 'n laaste keer, let me ask you the last question before we go to commentary out there, Nas, a prediction for the game?
I think it's going to be a hard game, but if we don't win well tonight, I think there's going to be a couple of guys in trouble because, you know, for a while now we've been saying, give us a chance, give us some time. But, you know, I think we had it. And this team had a lot of preparation, a lot of time, and they better start producing tonight.
Well, that's Nas Botha's view, and we do apologize for the poor satellite picture, but we are working on that. We're also having one or two sound problems, which we'll also work on. Keep in mind that it's all the way from Argentina. In the meantime, let's join Hugh Bladen and Schalk Burger, and on international, you join Andy Capistano.
Welcome to the Thurgool Western Stadium, where history is about to be made. The first time in 102 years that South Africa play against the full Argentina side. As you can see, the two sides have taken the field. The Springboks with 5 new caps in their team from the side that just played 2.5 months ago in the third test in Sydney against Australia, and Barley Swart moving across to the tight head side of the scrum where he played loose head the last time. Joost van der Westhuizen, Guy Kerbal, John Allen, Steve Atherton and Ruben Creer are the new caps in the side. 59 caps in all. The Pumas side with 223 caps, just 1 new cap in their side. Fernando Bravo, number 6, the flank forward. There you see Francois Pienaar, very, very fired up for the Springboks, as are the Pumas. We saw Marcelo Campo, who came over to Argentina, to South Africa in 1984. He was down in their change room and he said you could have heard a pin drop. But a very, very important game for us today. And with me, Schalk Burger.
Ja, baie welkom hierso, en ek moet sê, die eerste baie belangrike geskiedkundige toets tussen hierdie twee lande hierso. Ons was dinsdag aand in Tukuman geweest, en almal van julle by die huis het seker gelees van die bekleierery wat daar ontstaan het. Die Argentyne het die lood gewen, hulle besluit om hulle besluit te neem, hulle het kant gekies, en daarom is het Joel Stransky wat van afskop, en het is so belangrik, hierdie tipe spel wat ons deze speel, eerste fase besit, die eerste 20 minuten, bly die opponent se halfgebied. Kom ons kyk, wat is die
Springboks will be playing with a slight breeze behind their backs. The referee just checking that the Argentinians are ready. Mr. Derek Bevan about to get the game in motion. Here we go, fasten your seatbelt. South Africans onto the ball very quickly. Comes back to Abizu, the captain of the Argentinians. Quickly in by Willifia. This is Yabert. And the bounce favouring Andre Yabert. They didn't quite kick that as he would have liked to, but a favourable bounce for him. Good thinking there by Jacques Willifia.
Ja, in die eerste lyn staan. Kom ons kyk, ja, dit gaan voor Janus wees, wat gaan spring. Daar, die spoorleider voor teen Strydom, en achter het ons vir Janus teen Atherton. Albei hierdie slotte van die Argentyne wat skitterende werk gedoen het tot dusver. Die wedstryde teen die Springbokke, vooral Janus, die Buenos Aires 15-tal, skitterende lynstaanbal, 6 van gewen.
Support the hooker. And a lovely tap down, beautiful pass by Van der Westhuizen. Stransky with a drop kick at 10 yards down. This is a nice play by Stransky. Feeds it back to Allen. The Argentinians onto John Allen very quickly. Van der Westhuizen. I think Andre Yabert, yes, was ahead of the ball. The first penalty of the game to the Argentinians. Derek Bevan from Swansea in Wales, who refereed the World Cup final in 1991. Abizu, the captain again with the penalty kick.
Ja, hier volgens die statistieke op die maatband, daar is nie veel verkies tussen hierdie spanne, het sy in lengte op en gewig.
Good catch there by Janez, big block forward, 2 meters high. Argentinians just trying to get that rolling ball going, but good counter shoving by the Springboks. Good defense there by Joost van der Westhuizen. The front rankers trying to take on. It was Martinez Cabral. He tried to take it on. Now Comadon nicely down the Argentinian back line, working it there. And off side by the Argentinians.
Ja, die man waar daar ook gegaan het, hulle noem hy al Gustavo Jorge, 22-jarige, speel vandag in sy 18e toets. Hy het al reeds met die heel eerste toets in Brazil 6-3 gedruk, hierdie jaar 8-3 in Brazil gedruk. Maar die wind wat van links naar rechts voor ons voorbij waai. En vooral in die laatste gedeelte van die traject van hierdie bal met Joe Stransky gaan help.
Well, that's the halfway line, so he's just a fraction inside his own half. But we were down on the field. It's very firm going despite the overnight rain. It rained most of yesterday, but today it's been very, very light, whatever rain we've had. And down on the field, it's very firm underfoot. One of the things the Springboks will have to be aware of is that the dead ball line is very short in the in-goal area. In fact, it's pretty cramped. It happens in Latin countries. You get a lot of whistling and the hooters are blowing. And Joel Stransky hasn't nearly got the distance. And it's well cleared there by Salvat, the centre for the Argentina.
Ja, weer eens lyn staan aan die oorkant. Die eerste ingooi vir die Springbokke. John Allen wat die bal gaan ingooi. Veral op die jong Steve Atherton daar in die middel van die lyn staan. Wag daar 'n groot taak in sy eerste toets. Baie teen German Janus spring.
Straight him at 2. And Atherton goes very high, nicely taken in by Jules van der Westhuizen, and he's away on the far side. And the touch judge's flag is up. Well, that was very live wire play by Jules van der Westhuizen. He will keep their flank forwards very busy. Bravo playing in his first test match with Raul Perez. A little bit of experience there. He's in his 9th test match today. And watch out for Cuesta Silva, because he's playing in his 47th, the veteran of the Puma side. He's the centre. Good play there again by Sporlet at the front of the line out. Springboks just driving slightly away from the ball. Kamadon got it away. Arbizu hasn't found his touch. There's a criticism about him in the game against Uruguay. He didn't find touch that often, but the Springboks penalized.
Nou, Derek Bevan komt daar van Swansea in Wallis. Dirk, die 1991 wereldbeker finaal tussen Engeland en Australië was hy die skeieregter geweest. En nie so 'n goeie skop hier in Saad hierdie Argentyne nie. Maar Bevan is dalk net die skeieregter wat ons nodig het hier om die vere te bekeer.
It'll be interesting to see, Scott, whether Jules van der Westhuizen in fact does do quite a lot of the running himself. That's a very awkward ball for him. Sort of a wild tap by the Springbok lock forward. Kamadon's working it out. Arbizu, first time down the back line, that is Salvat. Skip there, nicely in position. Jorge came up quickly. Work now from Masson, the first touch of the ball for him. Nice little bit of footwork by him, but he's hooked it into a good attacking position for South Africa. This is Joel Stransky, his men on the outside. John Allen with this, and it's a penalty.
Dit is vir 'n laafpad daar deur Pieter Muller, heeltemal onnodig daar. Santiago met son, maar net terugdink aan wat dinsdag aan tussen Pieter Muller en Heinrich Poels met son gebeur. Kom ons nou op. En daar staan Muller vir Santiago met son, wat ook deel agter is van Tukuman onderste bo, waar die bal land strafskop aan Argentinië. Santiago met son, wat ook die skop kan waarneem. En sy styl wat werkelijk waar die mens herinner aan daar die groot loskakel van die Pumas, te weet Hugo Porta.
Masson, who's been the major point scorer in recent test matches in the South American competition for Argentina, remembering that they beat Uruguay 19 points to 10 and were very, very disappointed in their performance. We had an interview with Hector Mendes, who was in South Africa with the Pumas in 1971. He is now one of the coaches, and he was saying that they were very, very disappointed in the performance against Uruguay. Now he played against the Springboks against Tukuman. Now he does a little shuffle. He's kept it very low. And Peter Muller cleans up very nicely. James Small first touch of the ball. Peter Muller was wide awake there. Very bad luck from the song. Just stuck in the upright at the last moment.
Ja, val in die eerste 10-15 minute van de toets vir die mense die punte afstaan en die Springbok was baie gelukkig geweest daarom nie 3 punte 10-0 te kry nie. Ons hou net op daar en hy reg op paal.
Pienaar gets the first touch, of course. Pienaar's been practicing hard at the line-up forward, but the Pumas driving well. Now the Springboks gather their momentum going forward, and there are a lot of players there on the drive, and not too many Argentinians in the way penalty to South Africa. Deliberately collapsing the ball. Francois Pienaar just clapping his hands there. He enjoyed that drive, and it was a good concerted drive golf by the Springboks.
Ja, skitterende beweging daar, en het is ook goed om te zien dat Francois Pienaar goed herstel het van daardie afskudding wat hy opgedoen het in die Karibeker finaal. En dit lyk asof hy opval by die bal is en skooi is vir Suid-Afrika. Ons sien hier was ook 'n besering aan Ricardo Lefort. Die akker, hy was een van die groot moeilikheidmakers geweest daar in Tukuman. Maar net agter hom sien ons ook vir Bali Swart wat besering opgedoen het. Hy het baie hard geval in daardie rolbalbeweging en die dryfbeweging na deur die Springbok voorspelers. Dit was baie goeie spel ook van hulle geweest. Hulle hou die bal baie naby aan die voorspelers op hierdie oomblik. Wil natuurlik die Pumas veel as moontlik intrek. Maar hierdie volgende lyn staan, al is die Pumas se bal goeie geleentheid vir die Springbok aan te val.
Dr. Ross Fenty is on just attending to Bali Swart, just slightly out of picture on the left-hand side. You can see where that line-out is formed, and it was a magnificent penalty kick taken by Andre Yubert. It's going to be John Allen's throw-in at the line-out. Bali Swart seems to be okay. Good attacking position this for South Africa. It'll be interesting to see. They could well use the 2 ball in the line-out more often than they do on attack. And now Van der Westhuizen gets just popping it up there to Pienaar, and then Ruben Creer on the drive. He's well held there by Ugomasia.
Henry, the time to unload on him is when you made him miss. Not just to make him miss and grab him. Over making him miss and turning him round. You follow? The time to make, when you've made him miss, you've got to let go. You understand?
Look at me. Yeah?
All right? What?
You come in the way. When you swing it with the hook.
That's quite right. Keep your head.
Very nasty cut if one slid along there. Nicely taken at the back by Ugomasia. Camadon just looking around to see where his fly half was. This is a tester for Andre Yubert. James Small is under it. And a bit of a mix-up.
in die pad van James Small moes gekom het nie. Mens weet ook nie, daar sien ons vir Hector Mendes op die linkerkant uit. In die vroeg 71 in Suid-Afrika gedoen en langs op die toe Fernandes. Die doelskop is oor en dis Argentinië na die skitterende 3 van Questo Silva in sy 47ste toets vir Argentinië wat 7-0 voorloop. Santiago Mason wat ons daar gesien het vir die 3 verdoel het.
Good hanging one by Charles Jansky. Gives Pienaar the chance to get under it. Now taken on by Ruben Creer. Help quickly from Steve Atherton. Springboks will need to get back into the game very quickly. See how live wire they are when as soon as there's a mistake, the Pumas pass masters at stopping, at seizing on any opportunity. Springboks trying to still get that momentum going. Van der Westhuizen going low to get it. Jacques Olivia. Andre Yubert was flying on the outside, but he was well covered. Now Yubert helps Jacques Olivia. Van der Westhuizen Now you see how that player went on the far side, straight into the gravel.
Ja, Jure, ek moet sê, hierdie Argentyne, dit is iets wat ons nie wou, veral die springbok nie wou toegelaat het, dat ons baie punte aanteken nie. Dat verlede jaar die Franse geklop.
Break up. Box.
The referee waiting for advantage, penalty to the Pumas.
Maar skitterende spel daar tussen Lefort en Spoorleider. Mens kan sien Lefort wat terugkom en daar sien ons een van die Pumas wat daar 'n onderhoud voer. Lefort wat sy hand terughou en dan wag vir Spoorleider. Spoorleider wat dan vinnig vorentoe hardloop en klop gestryd om in die lug. En omdat Lefort alreeds sy hand terughou en nie om oor te haal nie, kan hy die ooreenkomstige bal baie vinniger insit.
Now it's Tijani number 4. Quickly Camadon cleaned up. The referee indicating that was not in straight. First scrum of the game, Skulk.
Ja, die hele eerste scrum en veral aan hierdie kant het ons Matthias Corral wat in Bali swart sak en die voorhou van Noriega, Lefort en Corral wat baie laag sak. Goeie druk uitoefen, maar dis 'n goeie scrum vir die Springbokke, regte skouer.
Chance just pops it into you, and this is a chance here for Ruben Creer. He's got Van der Westhuizen support. Yes, Van der Westhuizen, a turn is dead.
Skitterend uitgewerkte 3 daar. Die goeie regte skouer wat deur Bali swart verkry is. En dan daardie skitterende goeie samespel wat gelei het tot Joos van der Westhuizen in sy debuuttoets om 'n 3 te druk. Kom ons hou daar regs op. Daar Ruben Creer deurgekom. 1, 2, 3. Argentyne op hom getrek. Joos van der Westhuizen wat amper daardie bal laat val. Maar skitterende 5 punte vir die Springbokke.
That move is Chance just breaking wide and then flicking it on the inside to Francois Pienaar. Did very well. Meanwhile, out of picture, Barney Swart again receiving attention. Important conversion for Joel Stansky. And the 2 extra points to South Africa. We've had 15 minutes in this, the first ever test between the Pumas and the Springboks. And the scores are even after 15 minutes.
Kom ons hou op daar trek Ruben Creer. Nadat al 3 die losspelers daar aan die bal geraak het. Joos van der Westhuizen 'n skitterende samespel wat hy daar uitoefen. Kom na binne toe. Met Koste Silva wat oor hom spring, het te laat om te keer.
Steve Atherton on the run for South Africa. Francois Pienaar was in very close support. Van der Westhuizen nicely controlled by Stransky. And it's a very efficient touch finder by Joel Stransky. Good to see Steve Atherton charging forward. And it is Spoorleider at the front of the line out who does the jumping. Pumas trying to get it through, and then a boot coming in, the referee indicating that the South Africans were on the wrong side of that maul. Arbizu.
Die Argentyne wat die ingooi gaan bou en tot dusver skitterend vaar op hulle eie ingooi in die lyn staan. He. Daar sien ons die kaptein, die Sandro Arbizu. Speel ons sy 22ste toets vandag. Misstryd hom.
And now Ruben Creer gets it in possession. Ruben Creer, he's been very strong on the drive. Pienaar again comes up quickly, nicely taken on there by Tians Schaas it was. And then the feed back to Ruben Creer. We'll see all the blue and white jerseys around him. Going a little bit loose now. James Small sees a gap in the middle, couldn't get through it. Nice support play from Francois Pienaar. They've turned him though. Raul Perez, and another penalty to the Pumas. indicating there, the referee indicating quite clearly that the South Africans had gone in at the side of the ruck.
Ek dink dit is 'n klein bietjie kwaai daar op John Allen, want hy was 'n pad bal toe gewees en die Argentyne was oor die bal gewees. Kyk daar, hy het hom net teruggevat van daardie kant af. Maar die reël bepaal dat jy van die agterste persoon se voete af moet deelneem aan spel daar. Maar Derek Bevan, soos ons al die Walliese skeieregters, toetskeieregters tot dusver leer ken, het baie streng. Joos van der Westhuizen, Hannes Strydom.
Again, trying to work the back and trying to take advantage of the fact that South Africa haven't got a lot of height at the back of the line out. But they come through over the advantage line well, do the Springbok loose forwards. Kamadon, this is Abizu trying to get around Stransky. And it's out on the full.
Springbok het baie druk op Lisandro Arbizu uitoefen daar. Soos ek vroeër gesê het, als 6 toetse was hy al kaptein, nog nie een verloor nie. Maar die Argentyne wat skitterende werk doen in die lyn staan, hè. John Allen wat nog gaan ingooi. Maar veral heel agter, die Springbokke se ingooi, is dit Ugarte Mendia wat ook goed vaar.
Good jump there by Hannes Strydom. You see how quickly the Springbok forwards got in on that ball. They could well use the number 2 ball a lot more than we're used to seeing in South Africa, getting the drive going well. A lot of weight in there, although the weights of the scrums, the two respective scrums, are very much even. Ruben Kruger gaining penalty to South Africa, kickable position for Stransky. Referee indicating there that the Argentinians are going over the top of the ball.
Ja, en Derek Bevan wat baie vinnig op sy vlekkie was daar. Ook nie toegelaat het dat Suid-Afrika gebruik maak van daardie baie goeie losbal wat uiteindelik wel gewen is nie. Maar tot dusver met 20 minute verstreek in die eerste helfte. Derek Bevan wat die wedstryd met 'n ysterhand beheer.
One, of course, mustn't underestimate the Argentinians, particularly in Buenos Aires. I mean, for example, they've played Australia 9 times. Argentinians have won 3 and lost 5. One of those games being drawn. And in terms of series, they're absolutely even. He's got the direction. Has he got the distance? Yes, he has. Very well taken penalty. This wind is swirling quite badly down on the bottom of the ground. And a nicely judged penalty there by Joel Stransky.
Een ander interessantheid is die feit dat vandaag se toetskaartjies 45 pesos of $45 gekost het, om R380 is.
Ruben Kruger goes charging forward now. It's Just van der Westhuizen, work for Messon. Van der Westhuizen himself chasing the kick ahead. Nice catch there by Ruben Kruger, Stransky. Not that difficult to judge some of the fields when you have a big gap between the touchline and the grandstands. It's quite difficult when you're on a strange field to judge exactly where you should kick it, but they just have to aim for that dirt track around the field. Janez, the man who went high for Argentina. They have these 2 tall lock forwards now. Arbizu. This is where the Argentinians scored from before. South Africa will have to clean up in their defense. Nice catch by Yabir. Well, the referee there indicating that there was interference, so there was obstruction by the South African players.
Ja, en het wil voorkom asof daar die strafskop teen Heinrich Voels is. Vir die obstruksie.
So another chance for Masson to kick at the posts.
Kom ons mooi dop. Andrew Baer wat sy oog goed op die bal hou.
It looked a little there as though it could have been Peter Muller and Barley Swart in the way there, Skulk. This to make the scores even. Watch how he bends his knees and just shovels. shuffles towards the ball, very, very much like Hugo Porta. And that's a much better penalty, and the scores are even. Remembering that the Springboks are playing with that slight breeze in their favour. Again, a good kick-off there by Stransky. Francois Pienaar is very quickly up to chase those kick-ins. The Argentinians don't like that sort of pressure. Perez is the man who's trying to rip it out, and he gets it to Kamadon Arbizu. And a very good clearance by the Argentinian captain. See that man with the white sweatband is Noriega, who's a big man. South Africans took that penalty, the throw-in from touch very quickly, and Andre Yebert it was who just pumped it down over the dead ball line. A little bit deep there by Arbizu, taken by Atherton. Help from Stradom. Now Stradom trying to drive past Kamadon, the little scrum half, but he comes back at him very strongly. That's good play. Now Van der Westhuizen, nice catch by Stransky. The long ball to Peter Muller. He tried to dart through the gaps quickly. Jacques Olivier went to try and retrieve the ball. Van der Westhuizen again. The long one out to Andre Yebert, who very nearly gets around the little man, Martin Terran. Well, the Springboks very close to really loosening themselves up there. First of all, it was Peter Muller who nearly got through the gap, and then Andre Yebert had read the play nicely.
Ja, eindelijk sou mens verwag gedaan dat Pieter Muller nie deur die gaping probeer gaan. Het nie van ons 'n 2-op-1 situasie wyd gehad. Ongelukkig vir Suid-Afrika, Pieter Muller wat toegevang was. Maar een feit is baie seker is dat die Argentynse verdediging tot dusver, veral onder die agterspelers, baie goed georganiseerd is en dit baie goed doen ook.
Hannes Stradom it was who drove through there. Now that's Tian Strauss. Tries to get it inside to Francois Pienaar. Well played by Ugata Mendia, the number 8, who's a very talented player. Now the Argentinians getting their driving, rolling maul going well. And were nicely worked out. Strauss gets it away there to Stransky. Now the chase will come from Joost van der Westhuizen. And pretty quickly back for it is that little man Martin Terran, who also played for Tucumán against the Springboks. He's a very short fellow, but sturdy legs.
Hay que llegar, Pedro. Germán.
En die Puma is 'n span wat eintlik in Suid-Afrika onderskat is. Maar nie, dit behoort eintlik nie so te wees nie. Val as mense terugdink, Hugo Porta vir ons man alleen in Bloemfontein geklop het.
Joel Stransky. And Francois Pienaar again very quick to the point of breakdown. He's just at the moment beating the Argentinians to it. Kamadon Arbizu. Looking for that ground. That's a well-placed punt there by the captain. And taking them into the best attacking position the Argentinians have had in this half. 26 minutes gone, 10 points all. A goal and a penalty apiece.
Skitterende taktiese stuk spel daar deur die kaptein Lisandro Arbizu, maar die Springbokke wat die bal daar verloor het, die Argentyn het hom afgeneem. Baie belangrike bal vir die Springbokke om skoon te wen.
And Stradom, who's won his own ball when John Allen's thrown to him. He's probably the man who will be getting the ball now. There he goes high, couldn't catch it that time. And now Kamadon, the long ball to Arbizu, Salvat. A bit of a mistake there amongst the Puma backs. Jorge trying to get away from James Small. And you see 3, 4, 5 green and gold jerseys swarming all over Gustavo Jorge. I say that fellow Gustavo Jorge is a pretty fiery guy. He's been sent off about 6 times in club games. So it could be quite an interesting confrontation between himself and James Small.
Kom ons hou net dop daar so. James Small en daar is 12, 13, 14 en nummer 11 van die Argentyne by mekaar buitekant die veld.
Steve Atherton takes nicely. This is Stransky. And he hasn't found his touch. This is Jorge, makes an awful shambles of it. The referee will just have to call them back for that. Not one. Interesting, Jorge, as that ball came to him, just whipped his head away to see where his support players were and broke the golden rule of all sport.
So goeie skram deur die Springbokke van Westhuizen, Stransky.
This is the first real tester for Masson. Doesn't look like he's too keen to catch it either. Now it's Tehran does the tidying up work, but the Puma's in all sorts of trouble. The referee will have to call him back for the 5-meter scrum. Well, quite interesting that Skalk. It looked like Masson was not keen to catch that up and under at all.
Wel, ek moet vir jou sê, wat 'n paar van die Springbokke aan hom gedoen het dinsdag aand in Tukuman, sal ek ook nie, as hulle dit aan my gedoen het, sou ek nie graag daardie bal wou geneem het. Klein bietjie in die son, en jy weet die Springbokke het tussen beide. Kom ons hou dit dop daar so. Ek probeer dadelik aan die pad uitkom daar. Hy is omtrent omsingeld deur die Springbokke, aanvallende skram deur die Springbokke.
Joos van der Westhuizen doubles away from the scrum and a long ball out to James Small. This could be his 6th test try, yes!
Skitterende spel deur James Small. 6de toets, 3 en sy 11de toets. En wat 'n skitterende speel het hy nie geword op die regterveld na sy debuut in 92 teen die Nieu-Zeelanders gemaak het nie. Die hoë oorhoofse aangee na James Small. As mens terugdink aan die bal wat hy laat val het in die Currie-beker finaal. En hier het hy amper dieselfde gedoen. Gaan oor veilig vir 'n baie goeie 5 punte vir die Springbokke.
Nicely worked try, that a fabulous pass from Joost van der Westhuizen. And James Small with that 6th try, joining such illustrious players as Subnomus, Henny van Zyl, Barsi van Wyk, Mannetjies Roux, all famous South African names who have scored 6 test tries.
Daar kan 'n mens sien. Die bal wat nie heeltemal stil wil hê op daardie kelkie nie. Dit is die engste James Small wat nou nader geroep word. Hy gaan die bal kom vashou vir Joel Stransky. Daar sien ons die grote Guy Kebbel, vroeër vandag sy pa Roger ook hier in die skare gesien.
This is the most difficult kick that Stransky's had. Certainly the most angled. Remember that one he tried from this inside his own half. And the wind just doesn't bring it in, just shaving the upright.
Ja, ek dink ek sien ook die bal daar gemik het. Veral met die wind wat van sy linkerskouer af gewaai het. Dit voorkom as 'n klein bietjie swakker waai as wat almal hier geantisipeer het. Dit was met die inskop.
Arbizu, he's just been kicking his kicks a little bit too deep, so Atherton was able to take it unchallenged. Now straight him on the drive again, help from Bali Swart. Penalty to South Africa. And it's the little man, Ricardo Lafort, who also, let's tell you, is a pretty fiery little character. Andre Joubert with a penalty. Again, he's thumped it way downfield. A magnificent kick by Joubert.
Werkelijk waar het muntende skop as meestal kyk waar die bal gaan lê het. Die 29-jarige bankbeampte daar van Natal wat in sy 3de toets vandag hier speel. Daar sien ons die Argentyne voor Lafort die hakker. En dan daarna kom het Noriego, spoorleider en almal daarna.
See Pienaar too, nice jump by Hannes straight on. It was good variation of the tactics by the Springboks. Now Stransky's got Strauss charging, and it's Heinrich Fools who gives his hand through. Beautiful pass by Strauss. Andre Joubert in position. Can he get over on the far side? Andre Joubert, try time.
Fantastisch. Jan Strauss vir die bal wyd werk. Ons het dinsdag aand in Tukuman gesien hoe hy 2-3 gemaak het met lang aangee. Andre Joubert daar aan die oorkant. Hou het op. Pieter Muller wat die bal aangee. Strauss wat besteef, hy het 'n man wyd aan die linkerkant. Daar is die verdediging daar nie. Andre Joubert doen die nodige skitterende 5 punte.
Lovely to see that variation at the line-out with Francois Pienaar going through to 2 and then opening it up a little bit by allowing Hannes Strydom to make the catch at 5. And I must say that pass, Skalki, from Tian Strauss was a pearler. And that's a terrific conversion by Joel Stransky, adding the extra 2 points. 32 minutes gone in the first half.
Die Argentina wat intussen nog met die skeieregter te doen gehad het. Kom ons hou op. Voels na Miller. Miller draai mooi rug. Uit na die man van die Kalahari van Appington se wêreld, Tian Strauss. Hy werk die bal wyd. Hubert het so baie tyd en spasie daar. Dis al wat hy soek. En hy gaan oor vir 'n skitterende 5 punte.
Well, I don't see any infringement there, and the referee has given a penalty to the South Africans on the centre spot, so perhaps there was some back chat coming from the referee. I see the captain, Lisandro Albizu, just moving amongst the Argentinians and just saying, calm down, hands up in the air, the Latin temperament just taking over a little bit. Another chance for Joel Stransky to add the extra 3 points. 3 out of 5 he's kicked so far. He's hit that a lot better. He has the distance and the direction is not good. And he's mad with himself.
Die Argentijnen hebben een beetje orthodoxe daar. Kom eens op.
This is good play by the Argentinians as Savat gets away with the ball. Albizu taking that 22-meter drop out very quickly. Those are the sort of things that opposition sides have to look for. Carmadon getting it back to his captain. Again looking for the space. Favourable bounce for Yabert. This could go back with interest. And Andre Yabert so far having an outstanding game.
Maar weer eens, die Pumas is span dat de mens die goed geleendheid helemaal orthodox die wees soos juist daar nu.
Carmadon getting it up to Ugaga Montier. They've got some big men in the front ranks. That's good stealing away by the Springboks. A hand in the way for the Argentinians. And the referee just indicating, you see his hand waving there, knock on South Africa ball.
Ja, die Springbok is geval moet versigtig wees. Mense het gesien daar, maar hy vinnig inskop by die 22 meter, as ook daar ingooi by die lyn staan. Wanneer hulle agterraak, raak hulle heeltemal onorthodox en het al reeds baie spanne so gevang. Kyk net hoe druk die wind daar die bal deur in die doelgebied toe. Wat gaan we so maak?
And then it was Cuesta Silva who was calling for it. Cuesta Silva looking to take it very quickly. Looked like a punt to me. This is Jorge. Cuesta Silva, the referee just allowing that to go on, and now Peter Muller coming away with it for South Africa. And it's taken in there by Bravo, the new cap for the Pumas. Penalty to the Argentine. The referee saying keep it up, keep it up. Too many men going down on the knees to try and retrieve the ball.
Die spel wat nou 'n klein bietjie meer lewendiger raak. Die Pumas wat die bal rondgooi, Suid-Afrika ook. Die mense moet versigtig wees vir al die spelers hier om nie die spel toe op te laat raak nie. En dit sal vir hulle meer pas as vir die Springbokke.
The way the Springboks have been moving away from the lineouts and the interpassing between the loose forwards has been very good to see. Good catch there by Janez. Two Puma lock forwards have run out. Very good ball from their own put in at the lineouts. Now trying to work it. There's only Francois Pienaar, Noriega, the big front ranker, very strong man. Picked up by Hannes Strydom, who's done good work in the tight loose. Now Tian Strauss tries to work it back. Van der Vestes and Stransky outside his 22. This could be a well-judged kick. Masson is back for it for the Pumas. And a good line of South African defenders, just Heinrich Fools, Peter Muller, Jacques Olivier, all following that kick well. Arbizu looking to take it again quickly, but the Puma forwards asking a bit much of the Puma forwards to get back for a quick kick-off in that situation.
Ja, hier die Argentijnen wat nou baie beslis die spel vinniger probeer maak. Ons gesien ook met daar 'n inskop wat hulle daar probeer het, maar as ook die lyn staan, Kai Kebbel wat daar die bal nie kan beheer nie. Die enigste keer wat hy tot dusver in hierdie wedstrijd in die bal gevat het, 'n klein bietjie gesukkel het daar met die bal. Maar voordat die Argentyne vir die bal aangeslaan het, Springbokke se ingooi in hierdie skram. Hierdie kant, Bali Swart en Matthias Corral. Want ons van Fort aan die oorkant, die 22-jarige Noriega wat alreeds die pa is van 4 kinders.
Just about 3 minutes to go in the half. Strauss just trying to control it and get it going down the right channel. That's good play by him. He gets it into Ruben Kriel. This is under Yabel. Can he get in for his second try? It's strong, and on the inside is James Small. Try number 7 for the South African winger.
Skitterende samespel daar. Die Argentynse verdediging na links wat redelijk oorhoops is. Dis die tweede keer wat die Springbokke daar redelijk makkelijk deurgekom het. Maar alle eer aan daar die man daar. Die 24-jarige James Small wat deurkom. Maar hou het op vir Andre Joubert. Hy gaan rechts, dis die kaptein Lisandro Arbizu wat probeer so wat hy kan. Joos van der Westhuizen het seker ook gedink, hy het 'n kans om daar die bal te kry en sy tweede 3 te teken. James Small sê, nee dankie, dis myne. En onder die pale, waar beter vir Joe Stransky om van te verdoen as daar.
Well, with that conversion by Joel Stransky, and here we see it again. Look at the interplay there. Ruben Kriel just didn't look up. It was a set move, beautifully worked. Good cover tackle by the Pumas, but James Small had run himself into the open spaces a la Dani Gerber so efficiently that now takes him up to join the illustrious Jan Ellis with 7 tries for South Africa. Just in his 11th test match today, so a pretty good strike rate for James Small. That's the big man, Janez, Herman Janez, 2 meters tall.
Toe ons hom vra, wat doen hy? Toe sê hy werk in die stadsaal by La Plata.
Atherton again gets it down to Kibble. Guy Kibble working hard, keeping the ball on his side of the scrum. Nice pass from Van der Westhuizen. And Stransky this time getting a lot more distance. Efficient work by the Springbok forwards. It's the sort of half that the South Africans really wanted to. They needed to stamp their authority on the game. They've moved the ball wide at the right opportunities, and now John Allen trying to get away. And perhaps just wasting an opportunity for a Springbok put-in. Free kick to the Pumas.
Ja, en daar die vryskop, die rede daarvoor, terwyl Frans Pina vra, was het geweest vir teen John Allen, wat verhoed het dat daar die bal 5 meter ingaan.
Arbizu makes a hash of the punt. This is Andre Joubert. Once again, just been content to bang it down into Argentinian territory. See, Cuesta Silva was all wanting to take a quick one there. Well, the referee's whistle game for half-time. A very, very good half for the South Africans. We had that try by Van der Westhuizen, then the small try, Joubert, Small, Stransky doing the converting. 29-10, won't go away.
This rugby test between South Africa and Argentina will continue.
Raindrops are falling on my head, just like the guys
when more and more car manufacturers are demonstrating safety features that will protect you in an accident, it's especially rewarding to find a car with plenty of under-the-skin German engineering to help you avoid one. That's why the new Volkswagen Jetta is more than just the safest people's car we've ever built, but also a major breakthrough in driver enjoyment.
Nothing's worrying me.
It's rugby time. You give your all. Win or lose, have a ball. Pick and pay. Let's make it better together.
A lot of nice houses are really embarrassed about the state of their roofs. Yet there's such a simple, inexpensive answer. Plascon New Roof goes on all kinds of roofs beautifully. It's rain resistant, UV resistant, and long lasting. Plascon New Roof removes the embarrassment. Because when you new roof your roof, you facelift your house.
Tested. Researched. Proved. And now released. The new BP petrol. Stop at the green and fill your car up with BP. Our new standard in clean burning performance and fuel economy. BP, we like to keep it moving. This rugby test between South Africa and Argentina now continues.
Back at the Ferrocarril Wester Stadium. It's quite warm now in Buenos Aires. It's been very hot. It was quite chilly yesterday, but perfect weather for rugby. The Springboks will be playing into the breeze now. We haven't seen too many long kicks by Arbizo, the Puma captain. And he's the man who will kick off now. Derek Bevan, who's having a very good game. And again, strangely enough, he kicks it deep. Joel Stransky with the mark.
En die Springbokke wat nou van rechts naar links binnen hierdie bries gaan inspeel. Die briesie het natuurlijk een klein beetje probleem nou in die tweede helft. Zoals mensen ook kan zien, maar Joe
There by Masson. This is Andre Yabert. There's lots of space out on the far side. Andre Yabert so good at these things. Nice, he just took his eyes off the ball for a moment. Lovely little grubber kick by Andre Yabert, bit of pushing and shoving. Masson, Santiago Masson, the fullback, who's a fiery character. He ran from way back the other night to join the brawl. It wasn't a good advert for rugby, but it brought the Springboks together as they stood side by side and unfortunately exchanged blows.
Ek moet sê, vir ons wat daar nie, het is nie skarig gesê, het was net so interessant geweest, ons het homself amper ons eie rallykie gehad daar, maar het is so erg gegaan dat die Springbok reserves op 'n stadium gevra is deur een van die beamptes om binne die veld te gaan staan en vir hulle eie veiligheid. Maar as het, soos jy terecht gesê het, as het een ding wel gedoen het, dan het ontzettende spangees veroorsaak onder hierdie Springbok span. En sedertdien werkelijk waar, blijkbaar volgens Ian McIntosh het wel al hoe beter geoefen en bij elkaar gekomen. Kijk naar die kracht daar van Guy Kebbel. Soos hy daar vir Patricio Noriega uit mekaar het haal.
We've got Mendia working hard at the back of the scrum there for the Argentinians. Good work by Jacques Willefeu, penalty to the Pumas.
En 'n bietjie stamperij. Ons sien daar vir German Janus wat daar aan Guy Kebbel begin ruk en het was juist na die aantal toekoman in die scrums waar die probleme ontstaan het. Hulle hou nie daarvan om teruggedruk te word nie.
Salvat, the centre with the penalty. He's got the left footer who takes the kicks down that right touchline. Springboks 3 times now been blown up for coming into the mauls from the wrong side.
Daar sien ons die stad van Buenos Aires, omtrent 10 miljoen mense wat daar bly. Daar sien ons 'n ferrocarril, wat eintlik beteken spoorlyn in die ooste stadion.
We've just seen a very good kick by Joel Stransky. It's Terran who fed it into Masson. Joel Stransky just probing for ground with a low kick. Deep again, the Argentinians. Now this is Ruben Krier. He's got Francois Pino on the inside. Jules van der Westhuizen going in to try and gather the ball very quickly. Allen at scrum half. Runs into those 3 men. Spoorleder very prominent. Now van der Westhuizen, his little trademark, trying to get it away. Now work for Tion Strauss. The chase coming from Carmadon. The long ball out to Small. This is good for the Pumas. A good tackling by the two centres. Cuesta Silva. Now Palmadon getting it away very quickly. This is Silva. And on the outside to Masongi coming to the background with Basley. And against its Henry Cruz who gets across. And the referee saying to the crowd, paying for a penalty for a late charge on Jorge. James Small now could have the Argentinians arguing with the referee. Now we sit against Scott.
Kom ons hou nou dop aan hierdie kant. Die Argentijnen het baie goed gedoen om die bal wyd te werk. As die mense nou sien buitebeeld, daar sien die mense eindelijk op daar die baie harde baan, so 'n tipe van 'n asfaltbaan daar buite Pieter Muller waar daar lê. Maar kom ons hoop dat dit nou nie die maniere van hierdie Latijns-Amerikaanse spelers te hoog gaan laat opvlam.
Masson. He's got Salvat on the far side. He's just looking to see, and he did all what the Springboks did in the first half, just using the wind to drive South Africa back again.
Kom ons hou nou op. Die beweging naar links. Dus Martin Terrein wordt die bal aangegeven naar Diego Cuesta Silva. Hij schuift die bal heel wijd daar naar Jorge. Salvat wat mooi omgehardloop het. Die skopie voor hem toe. Hou nog voor Pieter Muller dop. Salvat wat probeert zo wat hij kan om zijn voeten te blijven. Ongelukkig voor hem. Was het 3 daar niet voor hem beskoren nie.
The kick-off from Stransky a little bit too deep. Now it's Corral who goes bounding forward for the Pumas. And penalty to the Pumas. South Africans not staying on their feet. That was good driving work by Matthias Corral that loose head prop forward.
Het wil voorkomen op hierdie stadium asof die Argentijnen net so extra rad gevind het. Hulle die pas van die spel heel wat versnel. Hier is ons die groot nummer 5, German Janus. Goeie werk in die lyn staan nummer 13. Diego Cuesta Silva, hy het in 84 saam die Jaguars in Suid-Afrika getoer. Hier die groot nummer 3, Patricio Noriega. Bedryf vir skrootwerf saam met sy pa, en soos ek vroeër gesê het, al die vader op 22 is van 4 seuns. Nou net uit beeld Matthias Corral. Sterk loskopstit wat sy hande vol het met Bali Swart.
And that's Bali Swart, in fact, coming off the field. He's going to be replaced by Keith Andrews. Bali Swart, who was battling with his shoulder. Dr. Russ Venter had to attend to him a number of times in the first half. And Keith Andrews gets his chance.
Hay que animarse, jugar, vamos.
So this penalty directly in front of the uprights. And he keeps it very low. 3 extra points to the Argentinians. And first blood in the second half to the blue and white jerseys.
En Keith Andrews het nou in sy 7de toets speel. Die bal wat teruggeskop is daar teen sy kop vastgeskop. Hopelijk het dat vir hom wakker gemaakt nadat hy op die bank gesit het.
And is that far enough? The referee allowing play to go on. The Pumas come charging in again. And the referee now saying it didn't go 10. Stransky just trying to hang it a little bit too close to the 10-meter line. And this, of course, gives the Argentinians an opportunity to get back into the Springboks half. The referee unhappy with the fact that the scrum collapsed on this side.
As jy ons die groot 130 kilogram van Guy Kebbel weer terug aan in posisie op sy linkerbou daar het die Springbok kaptein François Pinaar wat goeie vertoning lewer hier. Is kaptein in sy 6de wedstrijd as Springbok.
Again, the Springboks putting pressure on it. Carmadon getting it back to Abizu. Yubert just was in 2 minds under Yubert as to whether to go for that ball or let it hop. And the Argentinians came very quickly. Good kick. Pienaar.
Ja, skitterende spel. Een mens kan nie ontkan gaan van 'n vinnige lynstaan nie, van dis gebroke spel.
You see how Andre Yubert had to keep that ball very low. The wind, we see the flags at the top of the uprights blowing out very strongly now. in favour of the Pumas. Again, the quick ball into Camadon, the scrum half. Now taken away by Corral. This is good play and a lovely run now by Martin Taran. He's very quick, looking for support on the inside, and he finds it in the form of Ugaramtia. Terrific play now by the Pumas. Just battling to get it out, and the referee, good blocking of the ball by the Springboks. They turned it around. But you can just see how quickly they come away with the ball, and it's just those slightest opportunities that they need.
Vir die soveelste keer die Argentynen by die Springbokke kan vang met 'n vinnige ingooi. Corral het goed gedoen om die bal aan te gee na hierdie man toe. Martin Taran. Kyk hoe gaan staan en wag hy daar. Hy vind daar in die middel vir Guillermo Gartemendia, die 23-jarige Asterman. Hy kan ongelukkig net nie deurkom nie. Daar sien ons vir Ruben Creer, die man gebore daar in Vrede in die Vrystaat, op 23-jarige ouderdom maak hy sy toetsdebuut. Hy maak sy steewels vas, hy is reg vir aksie. Dis die Springbokke se ingooi. As hy 'n stewige skram hier wil hê, goeie regte skouer, goed gedoen na die Keith Andrews. En al die spelers op die regterkant van die skram. Strensky daar met die linkervoet. Maar die Argentynen wat nog steeds op die aanval is. Ricardo Lefort wat moet ingooi tot dusver. Hulle baie hoër persentasie van hulle eie balle terugwen wat hulle ingegooi het. Hy loop terug daar na Gonzalo Camardon wat redelijk stil was tot dusver vandag. Hy speel ook natuurlijk hulle skramskakel loskakel vir sy klub.
Sporleder to Giannis at 4. And Sporleder getting it down. John Allen came through very quickly, not in straight. No, in fact, it was knocked on by the Springboks, scrum to the Argentinians.
Ja, daar kan 'n mens net hoor. Die stem daaronder van Hector Mendes waar hy heeltyd sê rapido, rapido, gioca rapido, soos in Italiaans, speel vinnig.
Arbizu getting it away to Terran. See all the jerseys around him, heavy tackle and well robbed by Tian Strauss there now. Jacques Lefevre. Jacques Lefevre reacted very well. Andre Yebert giving chase, so does Jacques Lefevre. This is Masson. And that's pretty well done by the fullback.
Ja, Santiago Masson speel vandag in sy 22ste toets. Aan die einde van hierdie maand gaan hy medische dokter wees en blykbaar van Tucumán af verhuis hier na Buenos Aires toe. Dan sien ons vir Keith Andrews, die plaasvervanger agter hom Steve Atherton, dan Tian Strauss. Hoe skitterend het hy nie nou die aand in Tucumán gespeel nie. Dan Frans Pienaar in die ongewone rol as lynstaanspringer agter in die lyn staan.
Hannes Stradum going high, nicely taken in by Tian Strauss, took the pressure off Joost van der Westhuizen. Springboks just trying to move and maneuver the Pumas, the weight sideways. Now taken on by Hannes Stradum, driving in there. Guy Kebbel is in the thick of things. Van der Westhuizen, Stransky, again probing for this near side touchline. Masson. And it's so important. You see Jacques Lefevre up there. It's so important that you keep that pressure up.
Ja, Charles Stransky wat daar net nie sy hoeke heeltemal reg kry nie, kon 'n groter geleentheid daar vir Jacques Lefevre gegee het.
Arbizu. Andre Yebert has got Stransky with him. And that's a beautifully judged kick. It just bounced, just coming off the ground. First bounce a little bit softly. This is Masson. Yebert was up very quickly, and Masson, in fact, misjudged the pace of Andre Yebert there and found that he had to clear the ball a lot quicker than he had expected. 29-13, the Springboks lead.
Die sonnetjie wat nou goed deurkom hier in Buenos Aires. Frans Pienaar op nommer 2. Dit is ongewoon vir ons kykers terug in Suid-Afrika, maar dit baie geoefen in die week. Al die wisselspronge, maar voorgaan daar die strafskop teen Tian Strauss. Joost van der Westhuizen wat opstaan, daar heel onder.
Interesting to see Francois Pienaar operating, coming in at the number 2 position in that line out. Salvat with the penalty.
Daar sien ons vir Sebastian Salvat, 26 jaar oud, speel sy 20ste toets. Is 'n student in die argitektuur. In 87 teen Fiji sy debuut gemaakt. En wat 'n geleerde linkervoet het hy ook nie op hom nie.
And one of our local press guys here who's been helping us tells us that he's about the nicest personality in the side. Kamadon just trying to work it back, now taken on by Carol, who's been prominent in a couple of charges. Kamadon, Arbizu, see how Salvat was racing on the outside, trying to take a short ball. But penalty to the Pumas, and quite clear from Derek Bevan. You could see he went down and then indicated that there was scratching on the ground by the Springboks. And now the long ball out, Tehran. This is typical Puma rugby. Tehran and Jorge. He was offside. He was in front of the kicker. The referee disallowing the try. Jorge will be very disappointed with that, giving the referee a bit of his mind. But he'd gone ahead of Martin Tehran. That's just how unexpected these fellows can be.
Ja, die Springbokke sal baie fyn moet dophou. Kom ons hou dop daar aan die oorkant. Hy was baie ver voor geweest. Daar kon mense baie duidelik sien. En wat gelyk het so 5 punte vir die Pumas. Het verander en 'n lyn staan vir die Springbokke op die halflyn. Maar alle eer aan die Pumas. Hulle probeer allerhande dinge. Kyk, hoe gaan dit te kere daarso. Gustavo Jorge, een van die karakters in die span, 'n man wat omtrent blykbaar 6 keer van die veld af gestuur is vir vuilspel. Maar John Allen, die allerbelangrike ingooi, is baie belangrik dat Suid-Afrika wegkom uit hulle eie helfte op hierdie stadium. Daar kan die mense ook in die vlag sien dat die wind nie heeltemal so 'n faktor is nie. Skitterende sprong deur Steve Atherton, bring die bal af. Die voorspelers kom by mekaar, hoe nouer, hoe beter vir die vorentoe toedryf. Kry hom weer aan die beweeg. Joost van Westhuizen wag. Stransky.
Joel Stransky getting in a little bit of a mix-up there, and there was interference. Referee judging that there was obstruction by the Springbok backs. I think it was Heinrich Fools who came charging in the front of Joel Stransky there. And Masson from that position will have, there you see again, it's just after the obstruction movement there. Joel Stransky and Heinrich Fools getting in a little bit of a mix-up. So the second penalty of the half for Masson. He's just had 5 kicks at goal. Stransky has had 7, successful with 4. There you see the flags at the top of the uprights, blowing very much in the favor of Santiago Masson. Just to reduce the deficit to 12 points. He's kept it low, and it's very well judged. Great kick by the fullback. So far in the half, the Pumas have scored 6-0. It's still South Africa lead by 29-16. A little bit deep by Stransky, taken in by Ugata Mendia, Kamadon. Kamadon, who has, as Skulk was saying a little bit earlier, been pretty quiet, content to just feed it back to his captain, Arbizu. Has some experience, has Kamadon, playing in his 15th test match today.
John Allen wat daar praat met sy voorspelers, daar sien ons vir Atherton. Hy het al 3 baie goeie skoonballe gevat vir die Springbokke. Speel natuurlijk in sy debuuttoetswedstrijd hier vir Suid-Afrika. Man wat in Engeland gebore is. Allen met die ingooi.
Lovely catch there by Hannes Stradum. John Allen came onto his shoulder quickly. Van der Westhuizen, this is Pienaar trying to get past Ugata Mendia. Cleaned up there nicely by Van der Westhuizen. The drive coming from Strauss, the Springbok forwards trying to work it over the advantage line. Stransky feeding it wide quickly. The tactical kick by Heinrich Fools.
Redelijk veld gewin naar rechts. En hierdie volgende lijnstaan gaan plaasvind so 10 meter van die Pumas se doellyn af. Daar het ons ook vir Heinrich Voels gesien, die man wat met daardie skoppie oorhoeks van die veld, redelijk veld gewen het, maar ek dink het was meer bedoel vir sy spanmaat in die regtervleuel, James Small. Ricardo Lefort met die bal, dit sal heel moeilik nommer 2 toe gaan, ons weet as hy so wag.
Taken there by Sporleder. Both the Argentinian locks working well with their hooker Lefort. We saw them out at practice the other day and they were just having a little trouble finding each other. Now Jorge was the man for the Pumas. James Small, little slow in picking it up nicely, picked up there by Heinrich Fools. There's that just a little knock on by Gustavo Jorge, the wing, that gives South Africa the put-in. Be interesting to see if they drive close with the loose forwards again. It's been successful for them, no. And it's Fools who takes the ball on the crash. This is Peter Muller, who came up very quickly. So did Tian Strauss, but the Pumas come away with it. Barbizu with a long kick. Andre Joubert has a long, long way to go. Tehran gives chase. Jacques Oulafir is also back. And again, you saw how quickly the Pumas robbed the Springboks of the ball and came away with it.
Het is baie belangrik wanneer 'n mens wyd van die vaste fasette af deurdryf, dat 'n mens op je voete probeer bly. Tian Strauss wat 'n klein bietjie te hard daar ingegaan het, hulle het sy pale vir hom gelig. Hy moes die bal laat gaan en daar was 2-3 Pumas by wat blitsnel daar die bal opgetel het en wyd gewerk het.
We've got Mendia taking it in for the Pumas, a little bit low, the kick-off by Stransky. Again trying to work it wide. This is Corral. He's been prominent, well held up by Creer. Popped up now to Noriega. Salvat went in very quickly. A bad pass there to Obizu. Now this is Cuesta Silva.
En die Springbokke
indicating that it was a knock-on.
Die Springbokke was baie gelukkig geweest daar. Omdat 'n 4-op-2 situasie links gehad. Swak aangee daar van die basis van haar losgemaal af. Maar die Argentyne wat elke keer hier van 'n losgemaal oor die voorlyn kom, dit is kommerwekkend, veral Matthias Corral wat reuse werk doen vanuit die losgemale om oor die voorlyn te kom. Daar sien ons Noriega wat deurgaan, die bal wat teruggewerk word na Ricardo Lefort wat ook vir Tukuman Hakker speel. Nou hou net op, Gonzalo Camardon, maar hy is eintlik geplaas daar deur die kaptein François Pinaar. Dit was skitterende werk geweest. Nog steeds sal wat
Well, from the resulting scrum, South Africa tried to find ground down on the far side, but again the Pumas attacked efficiently, and Masson kicked a long rolling ball down into the Springboks 2-meter area. Jorge and Masson, the two men who worked very well on that ball. Jorge loosened up Masson. Again, an important throw for John Allen, straight on at 2. Atherton goes high, Steve Atherton, who's taken some very good ball at 4. Van der Westhuizen, Stransky, a lot of time, and he's done pretty well. About 12 meters inside the Springbok half. Here come the Pumas again. This is Masson. Pienaar gets onto him very quickly, but he gets it away to Jorge. Under it is Tian Strauss, nicely caught by him. Jorge is the man who makes the tackle. Ruben Creo went to help Tian Strauss very quickly. Again, the Springboks trying to regroup. The big Puma locks there in Janez and Sporleder, very powerful in the loose phases.
Die Argentyne wat hier die pas probeer versnel. Sodoende die Springbokke onder druk te probeer sit. Daar teenoor die Springbokke wat nou 13 punt voorsprong het. Wat graag die spel wil beheer. Soveel as moontlik in die halfgebied van die Argentyne sal wil speel. Maar hulle het 'n redelike sterk briesie wat nou al hoe sterker weer begin waai. Wat teen hulle waai, en hier sien ons vir Ricardo Lefort. Goeie verstandhouding opgebou met Sporleder en Janus, en veral Sporleder voor op nommer 2.
Well won by the Springboks. Van der Westhuizen with the kick ahead. Back foot is Jorge. 17 minutes to go in the test match, and South Africa still leading 29 points to 16. Just the one try by the Pumas, 4 by South Africa. One of the Pumas is down injured. We see it again.
Kom ons hou dit op in daardie lyn staan voor die manne wat val daar. Skop wat diep deur is. Ons kan nie heeltemal uitmaak wie dit is op hierdie oomblik nie. Ons sien daar Gonzalo Camardon wat daar met hom praat. Dit lyk asof dit Ricardo Lefort die hakker kan wees. Jans, dit sou Ricardo Lefort wees van Sergio Peretti. Die reservehakker wat op die veld kom. Ja, dis Ricardo Lefort. Sy toets is verby, maar dit gee die geleentheid vir Sergio Peretti om sy toets te bied te maak.
And the crowd giving Lefort a terrific ovation. Lefort, who's a fiery little character. In fact, most of us think that he started the fisticuffs against Tucumán the other night. Now Arbizu hangs it nicely. Steve Atherton is under it, taken in there by Hannes Strydom. Van der Westhuizen, Stransky, short one there to Trier. Van der Westhuizen getting it away to Joel Stransky again. The defense of the Pumas is very good. Atherton caught a little bit by surprise. White and blue jerseys all around it. And Atherton holding on to the ball on the ground. Another chance for Messon. Well, you just saw there Joel Stransky had a little bit of room to move in, and how quickly the Puma defense got onto him. The crowd now starting to gain encouragement. They were pretty quiet in the first half while South Africa amassed 29 points. But the Pumas slowly coming back into the game. And Masson, I must say, most of his penalties have been, in fact, all 3 now from midfield. So one of the factors that the Pumas will have to get going very quickly is that man, number 17, Peretti, will have to start finding his locks as well as Ricardo Lefort did. This to make the gap just 10 points. And once again, no, he's just sliced that away.
Santiago Messon kan het amper nie glo nie.
This time Stransky gives his forwards time to get under it. It's Atherton. Then the tap back from Sporleder. Carmadon popping it back to Perez. Perez going charging right through the middle. The tackle there by Heinrich Fools, but the Pumas now swarm around the ball. Carmadon popping it back now to Janez, a big man. Springbok defense is now really stretched to its limit, and another penalty to the Pumas. Referee waiting for advantage, and the whistle goes. Again, you see him getting down on his haunches and just indicating that the South Africans were using their hands on the ground.
Die manne wat daar op die bal was, Ruben Creer en ook die kaptein François Pinaar wat daar oorgegaan het. En Santiago Messon gaan weer geleentheid kry pale toe. Die skare wat die 3 wil sien.
Well, all that whistling is quite right, Scott, because the crowd wanted to see the Pumas take a short one. But the Springboks will be wondering how they let Raul Perez, the number 7 flank, get away so cleanly there. 3 more points to the Argentinians. And now the gap is 10 points.
Kom ons hou dop. Naar links, die beweging wat deurgekom het. Daar gaan hulle af, naar die losgemaal. Hou dit op. Verkrap op die grond. Is ook die kaptein wat daar oorgegaan het. Alhoewel hy op sy voete is, Derek Bevan ook na hom gewys en gesê strafskop.
A long kick back by the Pumas, and the touch judge comes hurtling down this touchline.
En op hierdie stadium, die Springbokke wat glad nie gebiedsvoordeel geniet nie. Dis die Argentyne wat die wind baie oordeelkundig gebruik en baie druk op die Springbokke uitoefen. Mense wil verwag dat hulle val van hulle eerste fase besit. Hulle self probeer terugskop of speel binne in die halfgebied van die Argentyne. Allen met die ingooi.
Again, Atherton does well at the line out. Now they need to drive this back into Argentinian territory a bit. And now Joost van der Westhuizen comes hurtling away with the ball, trying to get past Terran, and he flips it up beautifully to Ruben Kriel. That was a great catch. Nice play by Jacques Olivier. Peter Muller in possession. Heinrich Fuß goes to the ball very quickly. Joost van der Westhuizen up there to help. And again, the Pumas come away with it. Now they've got a little bit of space to move in. This is Cuesta Silva. Jacques Olivier back for it. Jacques Olivier trying to get away from Cuesta Silva. Good play by the Pumas. It was a good period of play by the Springboks, but the Pumas counter-attacking very well. Now Terran gets it into Noriega, and Corral comes on the charge. Help from the loose forwards now. And now it's Noriega again, second in the movement. Kamadon getting it away to Abizu. They could score here. This is Salvat, and it's Nissan, the fullback, who gets in for the Pumas.
Absolute pandemonium in hierdie stadium. Die Argentyne het met slim onorthodoxe spel die Springbokke se verdediging heeltemal oorhoop gehad. Mens kon ook sien het van hy vinnige ingooi. Kyk vir Diego Cuesta Silva uit na Salvat. Salvat vir die bal daar verby Jorge skuif. Na sy heel agter Santiago Messon wat oorgaan vir 'n skitterende 5 punte. Die klappers skiet hier so. Die mens kan dit baie duidelik hoor. Die skare is op hulle voete. Vleegte geen perke op hierdie stadium nu. Jy's vir daardie man wat ook vir Tukuman uitgeblink het Dinsdag aand. Santiago Messon.
Well, there's some hard talking going on behind the Springboks post, and Francois Pienaar will have to really call his players together and say we cannot allow this game to loosen up too much, because it's just the sort of food that the Pumas want. I must say, give them full marks for their counter-attacking ability. They throw in when it's most unexpected, and then move the ball wide with lightning speed. Look at that crowd celebrating. That man Corral was very prominent in the drive, so was Noriega. Very important kick this for Masson. And the crowd love it, 2 extra points, now the difference. Saying, come on, the Springboks, you've got to wake up a little bit. But the Argentinians right at the moment in full flight. Masson having scored all the second half points, 16 of them. 9 minutes to go in this test match. We've got him in Dia catching. Tion Strauss makes the tackle. Springboks driving hard, but Kamadon will get Salvat. And the Pumas also making full use. The breeze still blowing very strongly.
Ek moet sê die Argentyne wat baie goed gebruik maak van Arbizu se regtervoet en Salvat se linkervoet en die wyse waarop hulle dit afwissel, afhangend van watter kant van die veld is en die kwaliteit van die bal wat hulle wen. Springbokke wat nou 'n 4-man lyn staan, probeer vryskopsel toegeken word. Daar is te veel Argentyne in daardie lyn staan. Atherton wat die Derek Bevan daarvan attent maak, van die Westhuizen uit as die kaptein Pienaar. Losgemaal wat ontwikkel. Is dit 'n strafskop vir Suid-Afrika? Hy wag vir voordeel. Nee. Jy's vir dieselfde oortreding vroeër deur die Springbokke. Oorval van daardie bal en dis heel moontlik daardie man wat daar laaste op staan, Guillermo Ugarte Mendia. Die strafskop en 'n geleentheid hier vir Joe Stransky. Die punte verskil op te stoot na 9. Kom ons hou op. Kaptein Francois Pienaar wat goed deurkom en vir oorgaan daar kan 'n mens baie duidelik sien deur die Pumas. Die strafskop.
Now there's pandemonium in the ground as the crowd try to put Joel Stransky off. This is his first penalty attempt in this half, into the teeth of the wind. But he should get the distance. Direction all important. Keep it a little bit low. He's kept it low nicely. And he's dragged it to the left-hand side of the uprights.
Ja, hier, as ek net vir die mense by die huis kan sê, hierdie skare wat reg agter die paal sit, as 'n mens net nou kon sien hoe hulle te kere gegaan het, reguit in lyn waarna toe Joe Stransky geskop het. Dat was ongelooflik.
And that was Andre Yabert with the clearance. Perez, Raul Perez, the flank forward, was charging up on him. He's found his second wind. So it's going to be Peretti with the line-out throw. Peretti hasn't had too much work to do since he's come on as a replacement for Lefort. Couldn't get it at the front there to Spoorleder. Just van der Westhuizen just trying to get it through.
En dit was 'n swak ingooi daar deur Sergio Peretti. As mens terugdink aan hoe goed Lefort val vir Spoorleder voorgevind het. Kom ons hou die scrum dop. Aan hierdie kant is dit Guy Kebbel en hier sterk Patricio Noriega. Goeie scrum vir die Argentina, maar goeie regte skouer vir die Springbokke.
Springboks using that move again where Tion Strass flipped it inside, but Carmadon, the scrum half, was up to it. Now trying to get the drive going. Spirited defence. Strauss and James Small giving chase. James Small has got away from his opposition, but just couldn't just stretch to get a foot to it.
Absoluut millimeters wat vir James Small daar geskei het van die bal of om kontak te maak met die bal. Frans Pienaar wat slaap moet praat met sy hele pak, veral hulle lyk 'n bietjie aan die slaap op hierdie stadium. Die Argentyne wat voorloop in die tweede helfte met 13 punte teenoor 0 as die mense dit so wil sien. Peretti wil sy tweede ingooi. Dis beter.
It was taken by Janez, Carmadon, Arbizu. Arbizu, you can see getting far more distance on that. James Small did well to just be able to control it. Now Dubert. That's an awful kick by Yabert. Now Vitamin Diak on the charge. This is very dangerous for South Africa. Francois Pienaar gets back to make the tackle. The Puma forwards charge on. It was taken out by Spoorleder. Now on the far side by Carmadon, the scrum half. The South African defence stretched to its limits. Tion Strauss eventually the man who scrambles it into touch.
Paar benoude oomblikke vir Suid-Afrika hier, veral die onvermoë van die Springbokke om die man met die bal te isoleer en hom dood te maak. En dan veral hulle teenaanvalle wat redelik onorthodox is. Hulle hou al hulle voorspelers uit. Goeie tussenspel tussen voor- en agterspelers. En maak het baie moeilik vir die Springbokke op hierdie stadium. Peretti, paasvervanger vir Lefort wat goed ingooi.
And it comes down on the Puma side. This is Noriega trying to drive past Ruben Krier. Does well to stop Carmadon from getting it, but now Carmadon does get it, popping it back to Perez, yes, Perez it is. Again, it looks like Carmadon could get it. Now the referee's whistle's gone. South African advantage at the scrum. A little bit of injury time. Got about 4 minutes to go in the game. Very important that Joel Stransky is able to get this just a little bit up the field. Keeping it low, and a good kick by Joel Stransky. Springboks up there just very aware that Nisson may take the quick throw in.
Mansagewend, nu is ook die feit hoe die Argentyne hulle spelvlak verlig het in hierdie tweede helfte.
The kick ahead there by Van der Westhuizen. It was the tap back there by Hannes Strydom. Now Jorge. He's got lots of men in support. And he can't get past Peter Muller. Peter Muller just hit him with the shoulder there. Eventually it was Heinrich Fools who made the tackle. They could have brought him to ground much earlier. The South Africans again playing the ball on the ground. Unnecessary penalties by South Africa. They must regroup the defences very quickly. They come on the short side. It's Carmadon. Lovely hands there by Tehran. Now it's Carmadon on the run. He gets past Tion Strauss and then on the inside to Arbizu. Great tackle by Olafia. Now John Allen with a counter charge. Makes a bit of a hash of the clearance. Now Corral. John Allen makes the tackle. Springboks trying to get through on the ball. Played back by Janez. Then Carmadon. This is Salvat. And Salvat getting through a couple of South African tackles. Pumas. Well, the Pumas really on the rampage here, and the referee indicating that a penalty to South Africa for playing the ball on the ground.
Kom ons hou net hierdie skitterende spel dop. 'n Vinnige tikskoppie weer eens onortodokse spel. Daar sien ons James Small wat net nie by Kamerdon kan kom nie. Was dit Tiaan Straas? Die bal wat teruggewerk word. Hier sien ons 'n rolskop wat probeer is daar deur John Allen. Hy probeer daar by die bal kom. Matthias Koraal wat amper dit vir ons gelyk as hy die bal aangeslaan het. En vir die spel daarna na daai strafskop, die ingooi nou deur die Springbokke hier op die 10 meter lyn, hulle eie 10 meter lyn hier reg voor die hoofpaviljoen. Ons sit baie hoog. Ons kyk omtrent amper soos daai kamera skoot reguit op die Springbokke af. Spolle daarvoor.
Taken down there by Ruben Creer. He's had a very good debut. Van der Westhuizen gets help from Kebbel. John Allen at scrum half. Springboks will just want to play now in the Pumas half if it's at all possible. Ruben Creer now going in to try and drag the ball out. Springboks will be content to just keep edging forward and just also remember that it's using up time. Now the momentum starts going a little bit. Steve Atherton also had a good game. Van der Westhuizen, the kick ahead. Jacques Olivier giving chase directly into touch.
Interessant natuurlijk, na die eerste helft toe die Springbokke 29-10 voorgeloop het. Baie keer as jy so ver voorloop, probeer jy eerder die spel beheer as om jou normale spel te lewer en sodoende raak 'n mens reaktief in spel. Dis heel moeilik wat met die Springbokke gebeur het. Vir die losgemaal afgrond toe trek daar, heel moeilik die Keith Andrews en Hannes stryd om die strafskop en gaan hulle pale toe skop.
Well, there's a bit of a discussion now amongst the Argentinian players, but I'm sure Masson will have a final go at polls. And if this goes over, the crowd will go absolutely berserk. 26-29 it is.
Amptelike speeltyd Hugh is verstreke.
So it could well be the last movement of the game. Just a couple of minutes injury time when Ricardo Lafort left the field. So we could have, what, about another 2 minutes of play. The Son has been successful with 3 penalties and a conversion in this half. Just the one penalty that he missed. He's going to have to give this a bit of a clout. Deathly hush in the stadium. And has he got the distance? No, and Joel Stransky just content. No, Joel Stransky will have to clear that one. Taking a little bit of time about it, but his kick eventually pretty good by Joel Stransky. The referee has blown for the final whistle, and I can assure you the Springboks' hands were thrown up in the air. It was very close then. Great second half for the Pumas. They scored 16 points to 0 in the second half after South Africa had led by 9 points to 10 and were really doing extremely well. That man, Masson, number 15, scored all 16 points. History has been made for the first time in 102 years. South Africa play against a full Argentina side.